Amazing. Yeah, don't touch it. I'm good. Bye-bye. Hey guys, welcome to my channel and thank you so much for watching What Is Good. I'm Jade if you're new here. So let's talk about this crazy situation. Let's talk about the Real Housewives of Potomac, about the ongoing feud between Wendy Osefo and the green-eyed nuisance. So we're going to talk about the recent interview that Wendy Osefo did with Carlos King. But before that, I wanted us to address the little clip that played at the beginning of this video. It was at the Karen Huger spring cleaning party or whatever. I don't know. The lady throws a party for, like, Karen Huger look for every reason in the world to throw a party. And I'm not mad at like, I am honestly not mad. I love me some Karen. So anyways, they were at this party and Wendy, who by the way took Gizelle to task last season, proceeded to say hello to Gizelle because it's the beginning of the season. I'm sure they have not seen each other since the La Dragation or whatever. And then she offered a hug to Gizelle, and Gizelle basically treated Wendy like Wendy's got leprosy or something. Total bully behavior. I'm sure Wendy felt embarrassed, even though she shouldn't. If there is anybody that should feel embarrassed by such behavior, it should be Gizelle. You know, she's the one who was screaming, you know, and the camera showed the people just staring at her because she was screaming at the top of her lungs, like she wanted people to see that she gave Wendy the business or whatever. Well, congratulations, Gizelle. You have once again proven to the world that you have no class, that you are uncouth, and you lack self-control. Like, I get it. Because of what happened last season, you are not over it. Even in the reunion, did not resolve some of the issues. I get it. I totally understand. You want your space. You don't want her hugging you. But you did not have to yell. You did not have to draw so much attention that people had to stand and stare at you, yelling at this lady who's just as grown as you. Like, you're not talking to a kid. So, yeah, a better person would have handled the whole situation differently than you did. But yeah, I don't expect anything different from you because that's the thing with bullies. They can always dish it, but they can't handle it. They can't take it back. We have seen Gizelle in seasons past bullying and slandering all these other women, and no one has really held her accountable until Wendy. And when somebody finally did, she can't handle it. She's holding a grudge. Usually when they've had such a blowout, they are usually able to resolve things during reunion as the new season starts. But yeah, and this really shows that I heard so many things that she was trying so hard to get Wendy kicked off the show. And she was really disappointed that Wendy came back for season 7. And so she's now trying to ice Wendy out, as we are going to hear when, you know, Wendy say in an interview that I am about to play. According to Wendy, what we have seen so far is just the icing on the cake in comparison to what we are going to see as the season proceeds. Wendy says they're trying to ice her out because the way this reality show work is this. Once the women start complaining about not feeling comfortable around you, not wanting to be filmed with you, the producers are left with no choice than to make a decision to kick you out of the show, because the women, they want you to film with these women. And if there is anyone, or if the majority of the women do not feel comfortable around you, then that's basically what happens. You get kicked out of the show. So according to Wendy, they were trying, or at least trying to ice her out. And yeah, she also said that the viewers are going to see how some of the ladies will move the goalpost depending on who is involved in the situation. I think what she was meaning was that at some point in the later episode, we're going to see Mia pour drinks on Wendy. And Wendy is basically saying that they treated that situation different than the way they treated Monique versus Candace's situation. So because this green-eyed nuisance already didn't like her, so they treated that whole situation differently because they favored Mia over her. So they did not react the same way as they did when Monique did what Monique did to Candace. So take a look at this and I'll be back.
And maybe why last season, Robyn, for example, was really confused with who you were at that time.
No, because Robyn...
Robyn, I tried.
no, 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 no. Because I felt like well, first of all, I didn't feel that way because we were really close. Like, we actually talked. Like, when cameras are down, and you know this, Carlos, there are people who just film, we show up to set. Then there's people who actually talk. No, we talked. We texted. Like, we talked. Like, hey, girl, how you doing?
Not to cut you off, because I don't cut people off. This is shocking. You and Robyn Dixon had a friendship off camera?
Yes. Like, we talk. Like, I would send her an article. She'll send me an article. Girl, what are these people talking about? What are these people talking about? I don't know. When we were in lockdown, how are you doing? How are the boys doing? Are you cooking? Well, I'm tired of cooking. We tired of cooking. I'm tired. We would have those conversations. Or her just calling me, checking in. Hey, how's everything going? Da, 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 da. Like, we would talk. So that's why I'm like, no. And then two, we saw Robyn go from selling and flipping houses to selling beauty supply store hats to doing whatever she's doing. And it's okay. So let me understand. It's okay for her to change her career path and explore different things, but I can't. That's why I don't get that. I would understand. And Robyn, you know what I mean? I just don't get it. Like, we saw you change different paths yourself. And it wasn't what's wrong? What's different? Girl, you were just flipping a house in downtown Baltimore. Now I know you got me on somebody's screen modeling hats for you. Okay, you my girl. I'm a model the hat. I'm going to give you an angle. So why can you do it and I can't?
So do you think, in another hindsight 2020, that Robyn was doing that to create a storyline?
Yes.
Oh.
I think so.
Okay.
I personally think she was doing that because we were friends. She never even asked me that off camera. She was never like, girl, is everything okay? Are you all right? Like, you going from this to that? Like, it was never that. It was me watching the episodes with you guys. And I'm like, wait, that's how you feel? You never said that. You never communicate this with me. You never talked to me. You never, so yeah.
Wow. This is deep.
And what I think too, not to get too much into the weeds of last season, but it was what I'm realizing now that I'm stepping back and just watching even this season. The name of the game is connecting the dots, right? It's a connect the dot game. And that was part of her laying the foundation to connect the dots for my plastic surgery, then to connect the dots for I got plastic surgery because of the false rumor for Eddie. It was all laying the groundwork. It was a connecting the dots. That's what I'm realizing. I didn't know it then. I was like, oh, what's the big deal if I change careers? No, it's because you're changing careers, because you're acting different, and then you got your body done, and all of this is because of this rumor.
Baby, those 4 degrees came in handy for the dissection of it all. Yeah,
I'm trying to tell you, connect those dots,
baby. So this past episode, we saw that, which Robyn, I love Robyn. I love the entire cast, but I call a spade, right? We saw that Robyn did not invite you to her event that was for the kids. She told Candace to call you not just a mama, a black mama, okay? She had Candace call a black mama and said, can I take your kids out of your house in my vehicle, drive down I-85 South, getting off exit 12, turning up in the parking lot, child, and have a play date with another woman and her kids.
Mm-hmm.
And you said no, which, as a black man raised by a black mama, I understood that 150%.
Come on, Carlos.
Where I was so, this is no shade. I said, bitch, am I watching the OC Housewives? Because black folks, no, this ain't how we get down. In the audacity of that, what was Robyn thinking? Was this another situation where she was creating a storyline, you think?
So,
or does she hate you that much?
Well, it's twofold, right? I think, first of all, if you don't want the mama, then you don't want the kids, right? My kids are not going anywhere that their mom isn't wanted. That's very simple to me. It doesn't take a lot to go through that. And if I could actually keep it very real, there was a moment, a hot mic moment. And in my hot mic moment, you guys hear me say, oh, wait, I'm still mic'd or something like that. That comment wasn't to my comment earlier about Mia. That comment was because I called Eric. Eric was working overtime that episode. You know Eric. I called...
the showrunner Eric. The Carlos King of Potomac is what I call my mentee, yes.
EP Eric. Oh, I love Eric. Because after she did that whole song and dance where she went around the room and asked about everyone's kids, it was definitely about the kids because she didn't ask the women in the circle, hey, Ashley, are you available? Sharice, are you available? She asked specifically if our kids were available. And based on whether the kids were available was her not inviting me. Does that make sense? It wasn't like she was inviting the moms, right? It was
Yes.
the children she was inviting. So I said to Eric, when I had my moment with him, I sat him in the car and I was crying. I said, y'all can come for me all you want to. I signed up for this. Come for me. She can come for me however she wants to. But to do this to a 2, 6, and 8-year-old, that's not what I signed up for, nor did my kids sign up for that. And Eric will tell you, I sat him in the car. He was right in my front seat crying. I was crying because I can take a lot. But as a mom, don't do that to my kids. And my kids are of the age where, for me, they don't necessarily watch the show, but they have friends, especially my 2 oldest ones, who their friends watch the show with their mom. Like the show comes on at 8 o'clock, they're still awake and they'll say, oh, Cardar Cruz, I saw you on TV. So the conversation can never be, well, your kids won't know. Yes, they'll know. They found out the same time y'all found out. They have friends who watch the show. So they know that they weren't invited. And as long as Robyn has been on this show, my kids are the only kids she's ever had a play date with. Our boys are the only boys that had a football play date. So for her to do that, I just felt like, wow, that's really, really wrong. And then to answer your second question about, was this for a storyline? I don't know what it was for, but I know everyone, including, and I'll give it to some people who I don't even, have the best relationship with, told her that's wrong. Don't do that. That's wrong. People, they said, that's wrong. Do not do that. And she did not budge. She was like, I don't care. I don't care about those kids. I don't care.
Oh my, okay. I'm sorry. I'm not going to get emotional because I am such an advocate for children. Even on my show, Love and Marriage Huntsville, I tell the cast all the time, kids are off limits. We're not going to play around with the kids. And no matter what they go through as a cast, those kids are friends with each other. And I always appreciated the fact that when there was ever an event for the kids, that the kids would definitely be there, even if the parents don't get along. And I'm so sorry you have to go through that. Listen, Robyn isn't here to defend herself, so I'll give her that as well. But this is truly breaking my heart. And I don't want people to hear me cry. I don't sound good crying. So I'm going to change the subject because I don't play that shit when it comes to kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, kids to me are off limits.
And it's a family fun day. Like, how are you going to so you want my kids to come with Candace to a family fun day when none of their family's there and every other kid has their family? Like, this is not making any sense to me. I don't play with my kids. Why would I put them in a position or an environment where the host of the event doesn't even like their mom? You don't have to invite me. You don't have to invite me. That's fine. But then don't now try to backtrack and try to come up with some convoluted, way to get my kids there. It would have made more sense for her to say, hey, Juan, call Eddie. Tell Eddie to bring the kids. That would have made sense. Let their dad bring them. That would have made sense, right? Like, hey, no, Wendy, I have an issue with you. I have a problem with you. Absolutely. You're right. But you know what? Tell Eddie to bring the kids there. 1,000%. Whatever you want about me. But baby, this career, I worked damn hard for it. And I've earned everything I have. Nothing was given to me. Blood, sweat, and tears. I earned it all. And I'm not going to let the misactions of one person cause me to now throw all of that down the drain. No.
And without giving too much away, then we'll move on. We saw that season 5, there was a very healthy conversation with the Housewives after Monique and Candace got into their altercation. There was a sit-down conversation that all of you ladies were a part of. May I ask you, was that same grace given to you after that moment?
Y'all are going to see a lot of people eat their words. Y'all remember everybody's position? How, this is not what we do. We're better than this. Watch. Pay close attention. This season is about paying close attention and paying attention to the ways that the goalpost is continuously moved depending on who is on the receiving end. That's what this season's about. To tie that to your earlier question, when you were talking about Robyn, what you guys will also see outside of the Family Fun Day is people doing everything in their power to ice me out. And you guys will see it throughout the season. You'll see it throughout. This is not the first time. That Family Fun Day, that's child's play. That is child's play. Stay locked in. What you guys will see throughout the season, you guys will be like, what? Is it that serious? This doesn't make any sense.
Well, Dr. Wendy, I will say this, and I said this to all the girls that I know personally and spoken to in this podcast. You are needed for the show. Listen, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. The Real Housewives of Potomac is a stellar cast.
So you guys just heard all what Wendy said. So here's my thing. Here's my opinion. Gizelle and Robyn have no storyline. Their entire storyline is built around other people's marriage and sniffing for dirt and drama to use as their storyline because they have no life. They are very boring. Nothing is happening with them other than a little bits and pieces here. The men in their life, in quotation, don't want to be filmed with them, don't want to be involved in any capacity. And Gizelle doesn't even have a man to begin with. We all saw how she faked being in a relationship with Pastor Jamal just so that she can have airtime, only to find out that the guy was basically telling anyone who cares to listen that she was not in a relationship with him, that he was not in a relationship with her, that it was all built for the show just to keep Gizelle on the show. They have tried it with other women in the past, and those women didn't push back as Wendy did, so when they tried it with Wendy, and Wendy let them know what time it is, Wendy let them know that there are some lines you're not going to cross. Wendy let them know that her family is off the limit and they didn't like it. I mean, let's face it, in my opinion, Gizelle and Robyn are like vultures. They sniff around looking for dead animals to perch on, and if you don't give them what they want, or if you wave them away, shush them away, they'll ice you. They never like to be held accountable. They have no storyline. Nothing interesting about them. Absolutely nothing interesting about their lives. Their segments is boring. And I do believe, my opinion, that they're trying to bring Cherise on the show and make her a permanent fixture. They invite her. I've seen them invite her so many times since season 7 started. They've invited her everywhere, even places that they did not invite Wendy to. And I do believe that as the season go on, we're going to see more of that. I also do believe that the only reason why Cherise hasn't been fully brought into the show is because of Karen. Because Karen is not effing with Cherise at all. She doesn't like her, and Karen won't film with her. If she sort things out with Karen, she'll be in. That's what I believe. And I actually like Cherise. Let me be completely honest. I really like Cherise. I think she's fun. I think she's classy. I think she's funny. And I think she definitely is high society. She has a lot of influence and she's a good fit for the show. She does bring a lot to the table and she does engage in petty drama every now and then, but she always knows to keep it classy and cute and not tarnish somebody else's image or ruin somebody else's family for a storyline. She definitely has more storyline than Gizelle or Robyn for that matter. So I think they should definitely bring Cherise back if that is in the works. How about they replace Cherise with Gizelle and Robyn? How about they do that? How about bring in Cherise and take out Gizelle and Robyn? How about that? I think I would like that. I think the show will become more interesting because you actually have women who have things to bring to the table, women who can reach places that many of these women who are currently on the show cannot yet reach in terms of high society and life and everything and charity work. So yeah. Anyways, we're gonna have to keep an eye on the show. I will definitely come back as I watch the latest episode. And yeah, thank you all so much for being here. Like this video if you like it. Subscribe to my channel if you've not already done so. Thank you all so much. I'll catch you guys in my next one. Bye guys.